Hello again and welcome back. We're going to continue talking about Swift and learning the Swift programming language. So in the last videos we covered lesson 1. This will be lesson 2. So I'm in the syllabus right now and I'm going to scroll down to the lessons here. So I'm on lesson for class 2, optionals and conditionals. So this is the lesson here, and I'm going to click on the slides button, and basically the slides are made from this markdown file, so it's the same information. You can read it through here, or you can click on slides to view it. Okay, so optionals and conditionals, right? Today's we're going to cover learning objectives, conditionals. We have an activity for conditionals. We'll take a break. We'll talk about optionals. And then there's an activity for optionals, and then we'll wrap up and cover any homework. So the learning objectives for today are, one, hopefully by the end of class, you'll be able to use conditional statements in Swift, identify optionals and use optionals in Swift code, understand the importance of optionals and optional binding, and list and apply the different ways of unwrapping an optional value. So in class we'll actually review the homework from last week. So now let's talk about conditionals. So conditionals are statements that we use to create branches in our code. So we might want to do one thing or another thing depending on a situation, and that's where we use a conditional. So for example, if the time is 7 a.m., then we want the alarm to go off. If the game is over, then we want to stop the game and show the high score. Maybe if the light is out, or if it's past a certain time, we want to enable dark mode. Or if you've set that option in your user profile, we want to show the app in dark mode. Okay. All of these require that we make some evaluation or check some condition before taking an action. So the traditional conditional operators that you see in other languages are all good in Swift, and there's a few more. This is a short list, right? So greater than, equal to, greater than, less than, equal to, less than, not equal to, and, okay? And then here's like a use of 4 is less than 8 and 6 is greater than 8. Or if 1 is less than 2, then this would evaluate to true. Okay, so let's talk about the if statement. So the if statement in Swift looks like a lot of other languages. We say if, we include an expression, and then follow it with a curly bracket, and that's a code block. And if the expression evaluates to true, then we execute the code in the code block. Sometimes you want to have a branch that does one of two things, in which case you can add an else block. So if the expression at the top is true, we do the code block here. If none of these things are true, then we'll do the code in the else block. This double pipe, or the two vertical lines, is the or statement. So if color is red, or if color is green, or if color is blue, then we'll do this line of code right here, the first code block. Else, since color is purple, it's not equal to any of these, then we're actually going to do the block down here. Okay, so here's a question for you. What will print in the console? Okay, did you try an answer? Okay, so it looks like 52 is not less than or equal to 50, so we're going to charge someone $25 for their luggage. Okay, so let's talk about the else if clause. This one's getting a little truncated here, right? The else if lets us put a second or third or fourth condition on our if statement. So here at the top, if student count is less than 5, we're going to run the message class won't run. Else, if student count is less than 25, we print class will run. If student count is less than 30, class will be packed, right? Right? Else, we need another section, right? So, you know, we can have multiple if clauses with an else if. So we can put another condition on. The else always runs if none of the else ifs run. Okay, so here's one for you to try. So the goal here is for you to write an else if statement that assigns the smaller value variable a, right, because that's 5, right, assigns the smaller of the two values to min and the larger of the value to max. So give that a try. You can stop the video and take a few minutes. Okay, so let's talk about the ternary operator now. So the ternary operator is kind of like an if-else statement, but all on one line. And it's made up of two characters here. It's the question mark and the colon. So these values here inside the parens and the angle brackets, those are, you know, just placeholders for actual values that you put in. Let's take another look, right? So here, I've got degrees is 76, and I'm going to assign a value to mood. And the way we're going to do it is with the ternary operator. So there's our question mark and our colon, and the expression here on the left of the question mark, if this is true, we're going to assign the value here to the variable. If this value here on the left of the colon is false, we're going to assign this value to mood. So in this case, degrees is 76, so it's greater than 70, so it's going to be this mood right here. Okay, you can do the same thing, like if you have a button on a page in your app or a screen in the app, and you want to, you want to check to see if someone has saved something to their favorites or not, and then show remove or save. By labeling the button, you could set the label with a ternary, right? So you could say, hey, if is favorite, if that's true, then the button's going to say remove, right? If it's false, then we're going to have the button show save. Okay, so here's another question for you to try. Rewrite the previous min-max question as a ternary. So use a ternary operator to rewrite min-max, right? Which was that question we had earlier over here with A and B. Okay, thanks. So let's continue. So now what I'd like you to do is go over the conditional playground. So you can click on this and it'll take you to the GitHub repo, and you can click this View Raw button right there, and it should download the playground file. So here's my playground here. I'm going to double click it and open it up. And you can go through these playgrounds and try the challenges here. Okay, so thanks for watching, and then we'll continue in the next video.